Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back to Adventures by D. I'm Dave. This is my daughter, Madison. We are back from a fresh Universal Studios Orlando Informer event, and it was unbelievable. It was last weekend, was it not, Madison? It was awesome. So I'm giving everybody a chance, just a notification to go out and to join the stream. Thank you all so much for joining. And before I forget, if you don't mind giving us a thumbs up and liking this video, and hopefully you enjoy the content, and consider subscribing if you're new, because we go to all kinds of theme parks. What are we go the most for those that are new to the channel, Madison? Well, we just got back from Universal, and we're going for HHN.
Yes.
And what video did we put up today? Disney, the balloon ride, Disney Springs, remember?
Yeah.
So check out that video. If you want to see me 400 foot up in the air, almost chicken out, but I did go up it and we had fun. It was a nice day too at Disney Springs. And we'll do other Disney videos going up, need to be edited. And then what other parks do we do? What's our home park?
Six Flags Over Georgia.
Six Flags Over Georgia. So we got some special things lined up for its 56th birthday next week. And Wild Adventure, we just went down to Valdosta over Easter, and we just put up a couple POVs and a full kind of what's new and their cool new 3-acre oasis outpost. Got some new animals, a new water pad for the kids, and it's pretty good veggie pizza if I remember correctly. Oh yes, and a giant ice cream funnel cake, whatever that was. All I know, it was good. So check out those videos on our channel, Adventures by D. So let's, while we're waiting for people for the to join the stream and the notifications to go out. First of all, if you're hashtag Team Replay, thank you for watching the replay. Appreciate it. I know it's Friday afternoon, so yeehaw, whoop, 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 start the weekend, right, Maddie? And let's do a little music in the background here before I forget. So the Orlando Informer takes place in the summer, usually around the first weekend in June, and also there's some ones coming up. You can check out their website in Thanksgiving and the first week of December. And they are not affiliated with Universal, but they basically buy out the park and then resell you park access after hours, along with some food, which we're going to talk about in just a second. So we had never been to an Orlando Informer event. I'd seen some videos on it, and I was excited about it. We wanted to go down in the summertime, down to Universal, and not have to put up with the crowds too much. So we decided to go ahead and try out Universal Orlando Informer, which is pretty cool. Now, the cost for both nights, this is a Friday and a Saturday, peak summer hours. You got in the park at 5 p.m., the day guests didn't leave till 8, but you got to stay until 1:30 at night. Some of the bigger rides closed the lines before that, but it's basically 5 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. access to both Universal parks, 2 nights in a row. Unlimited food, which we're going to get into that. A lot of cool characters you don't see during the day, which we're going to get into that too. All in for both nights, it was right at $400, including the tax. So before you jump out of your seat, yes, that's a lot of money. But if you went during the day and you bought express passes for both days, you're probably already looking at $400. So also, our kids are teenagers, so 1:30 in the morning is not an issue. I realize if you've got toddlers, probably not going to be out to 1:30. So welcome, Matt. If you just joined us, we're Adventures by D, Dave, and Madison, and we're just janitoring the Orlando Informer. So we went over cost a little bit, right at $400 for both nights, 5 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. access. The food is unlimited. Most of the restaurants participated. That doesn't mean you went in and just ordered whatever you want off the menu. You could go in and get what they had in, usually a buffet line. And then there's also most of the carts, corn dogs, pretzels, popcorn. Those carts were also included. And the food did not start free until after 8 for the carts and after 9 for the restaurants. So that's important. I'm going to come back to the food part. Don't worry. There won't be a quiz at the end of this live stream. Thanks so much for joining Adventures by D. We are live Friday afternoon, Eastern Standard, June 9th. So start the party, start the weekend. Whoop, whoop. Let's see here. Let's turn on a little background music. I think I like this one. Let us know if you can hear the music or not. So let's start in the Orlando Informer event. So we get there first night, we check in. Yes. Hey, Kelly, welcome in. Please check out our friends, Kelly and family at the Mickey Bunch. They're on live a lot, and they have some great content. We've been on their channel. She's been over on Adventures by D, so we appreciate it. Also, check out our other channel that we love so much, Tom, over at Vacationers Podcast. We've been on his stream and on this podcast. And Tom, we will see you for HHN, if not before that. And Kelly, hopefully we'll meet you in person someday at one of the parks on either coast. So welcome in, friends. So nice of you to join us. My daughter, I'm Dave, my daughter Madison, and we're tearing into the Orlando Informer. So we go in the park. The first night, everybody's jacked, so we go in there about 4:30 or so to check in. So we go into the entrance by the Blue Man Group, so it's more by the Universal Studios. Signage is there. You couldn't miss the check-in. It's all right there. You could have checked in as early as 3, but you can't get into the park until 5. In fact, thinking through it, I do think since I was already running around City Walk or something, I went over there early and got the tickets. So when you checked in, let's see what that looked like. So you got a wristband for the day, as you can see in the video. You also got a $15 food card, which is supposed to hold you over between 5 and 8, since the free food didn't come out in the carts till 8 and the restaurants until 9. But then you also got a hard ticket, which you can put in your lanyard there. And you could see the Orlando Meetup person kind of explaining this. So you got a ticket, $15 card that was good for the restaurants only, not for the merch. And also everybody had to wear a bracelet, which is how they cleared out the day guests starting at 5. If you didn't have one of those bracelets, you weren't going to be back in the park. They kind of shoot you out. So that was the check-in. Check-in couldn't have been easier. No problem at that. I guess the only thing is I had to check in both nights like I was due each night. Probably would have preferred to get both nights' credentials all at once the first night on Friday. But past that, check-in couldn't have been easier. I had my QR code when we bought the tickets, and not a problem whatsoever. Got in, and so we go in at 5 o'clock, Maddie. So the crowds didn't really die down until 8. So our thought process, let's go on some fast-loading rides and or shows and go into the tribute store. So we decided to go in and see the Bourne Spectacular, which is one of my favorites. I should be putting the comments up. See, I haven't live streamed in so long, I'm getting rusty here. And so we saw Bourne, which, Maddie, what did you think of Bourne?
It was good. I mean, I really loved the show. It was just our main Jason Bourne. His hair was kind of long, so you could kind of tell when it wasn't him.
So it wasn't really a Matt Damon doppelganger, shall we say?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love that show. It's a bunch of technology. You can't film in there. I won't ruin it, but you go to Universal Studios, you got to do the Bourne Spectacular. Plus the AC is blowing, and it's huge theater. So they have a pre-show. You should get in one show. So from there, across the street, Jurassic Park Tribute Store, which I hadn't been in. I try not to watch any vlogs, so it was all a surprise to me. So we went in and walked in right after the board. So we had a few cool photo ops in there. So here's a couple of photo ops. Madison, nice job hiding from the Velociraptor there in the kitchen. And then I thought that was a good place to hide. The T-Rex found me. Tribute store is pretty cute. And we'll have a vlog out about all this, hopefully in the near future. I still need to edit the whole video from the Orlando Informer, but we will have a vlog and kind of, is it worth it type of a theme to it. But we had a good time. We decided to go Bourne, go to their tribute store. And from there, from 5 to 8, both nights, we really kind of walked around and took it all in. a lot of the rides did have, I mean, it's peak summertime at major theme parks, so some of the ride times are long. We tried to pick rides between 5 and 8 that were fast loaders we can get in and out of, and then we didn't have to wait a long time. Anything like Hagrid's or Velocicoaster, we waited until after 8 p.m. So let's talk about the character meet and greets, because that's one of the things that I don't think was played up enough. The character meet and greets at Universal aren't probably as good as Disney. You get your Beetlejuice, you have your Simpsons, you have your Scooby and Shaggy out there, but not too much on a consistent basis in my experience. But I'll say the character meet and greets were plentiful during the Orlando Informer event. So if you saw the thumbnail, you saw us with Puss in Boots, and then here are some of the other Cat in the Hat we saw. He was great. He actually, I believe he talked to us, did he not?
He didn't talk to
He didn't
us.
talk. Maybe that was his handler that talked to us, a Universal Studio person. But Puss in Boots was out there, backed by Mythos. Cat in the Hat was obviously in Dr. Seuss land. And then another very rare character meet and greet, I think, for Universal, Spider-Man was out there.
He does his own meetings on it.
He does? Well,
He did.
okay, it's rare to me. Maybe I haven't looked for it before. Spider-Man did talk.
He did.
Yes. And then one of the coolest meet and greets to me was, check this out. I'm going to play the video. Maybe somebody can tell me who this is. So that's Woody, and I think it's kind of a Bride of Frankenstein, but it is really a cool meetup there. I'll run it back a little bit. I'd never seen Woody Woodpecker or his bride ever in Universal Studios. So this was really cool. We got a couple pictures with them too, but I thought I'd play the video instead. But I think the character meet and greets, I really enjoyed them, and I wasn't expecting them. What did you think, Maddie?
I thought they were really cool. I mean, I enjoyed meeting them. I got some fun pictures.
We did. And, you know, I want to say Disney's probably more known for the character meet and greets, but I enjoy the Universal meet and greets myself. All right. So, hey, Amy, welcome in. Check out Amy over at AJC Magic TV. She's got some great content. She does a lot of theme parks. Yes, we did enjoy the meetup event very much. We just kind of set the table and talked a little bit about the character meet and greets, which I thought were plentiful and unexpected at Universal and in marketed, I will say. So Universal, if I were you all, I'd think about, or I should say Orlando Informer, think about adding, some unique character meet and greets to the marketing slicks, because I really enjoyed them. Unexpected pleasure for me. All right, Maddie. So let's talk a little bit about the crowds. So come 8 o'clock the first night, I wasn't really expecting, I didn't know what to expect at 8 o'clock. I know this is advertised as low crowds, but sometimes tickets are sold more so that the low crowds aren't really the case. But what did you think? What happened at 8 o'clock basically both nights?
I mean, basically, it really just cleared out, and you could barely find anyone like walking around.
Yeah, I mean, it was no crowds, especially in the studios. The rides went from 30 to 40 to 50 minutes to basically walk-ons, except for like Hagrid's and for a little while the Velocicoaster. Hagrid's did get down to a half an hour towards the end of both nights, but other than Hagrid's, everything that we went to was a walk-on or maybe wait one ride.
Yeah.
What did you think? Was it cool to have the no crowds, Maddie?
Yeah.
All right.
What are you doing?
So let's talk about the foods. Let me pull up a couple other slides here. So Maddie, you want to explain this picture?
So here we are in the Three Broomsticks, and with the event after 9 p.m., we all get to have free food in select locations. And so this is the second night, and we went to the Three Broomsticks for the second time. And here we got fish and chips, shepherd's pie, apple pie, fruit, butterbeer, and pumpkin juice, I think there's.
I think so. Not pictured my black velvet, which is half cider and half Guinness. That's another story. Alcoholic drinks not included, by the way. But this was part of the unlimited food. And by the way, I'd never had the apple pie in there, and it was spectacular. It comes as its own little pie and its own little crust. You can see we each had one. So the deal is with the food, you can start getting food from the carts at 8 o'clock ish once the day guests start to let out. So the carts, I guess they probably check their doors, and then I guess more specifically between 8:15 and 8:30, the carts kind of open up if you have the wristband as you're with Orlando Informer, and then it's just have at it. Whatever the carts have left, including like you can get a cup for Freestyle Coke, unlimited refill, pretzels, corn dogs. We had churros, ices, whatever was on the carts. Come about 8:30, it was included. So a lot of people we did that, us included. The more sit-down restaurants didn't officially open for Orlando Informer till about 9. So here at 3 Broomsticks, they would set the food out. So instead of ordering the food and walking up to the counter, all the food was pushed out to you, and then you just pulled them off the counter. So you would buy, got a fish and chips, you would buy, got a shepherd's pie, an apple pie, a fruit, and then the drinks, the butter beers, and the pumpkin juice. So it was an interesting way to serve the food, but a quick way to serve the food, I'll say. So I don't know on the unlimited stuff, other than having more butterbeer than we might normally have. I mean, we basically had a snack, a dinner, and then probably a dessert. And they by the way, the Harry Potter ice cream shop was open. They served kind of in a dip, one dip in a cup, and you went by and got off the counter. And they did have some butterbeer soft serve, but it wasn't like, you could go up and order whatever you want. So my tip on the food is, it's not unlimited from the whole park selection. It's kind of unlimited from certain selections within most every restaurant. So keep that in mind if you're going to go for the food. Hey, Nick, welcome in. Movie Mania Nick. He has some great content. Go check out his channel as well. We're just going over the Orlando Informer event. We were talking about the tribute store, the character meet and greets, which we thought were awesome, a little bit about the food. What did you think about the food, Madison?
Other than the time I opened my tray, it felt pretty good.
Yes, Madison had a tray issue. No worries with unlimited food. We had plenty of food to eat. Nobody starved at Orlando Informer. And keep in mind, I didn't do the math, but by the time you get a churro and a drink and icy, and then sit down for another meal, and then get a butterbeer or soft serve ice cream for dessert, per person, you're probably talking easy $50 at Universal. So you could say $100 per person, easy, as part of the $400 if you want to calculate it that way. And if you missed it, all in for both nights, it was $400. So if you can figure it in like you bought a ticket, an express pass, and a meal and a couple snacks, you're probably looking at that. Wouldn't you say, Madison?
Yeah.
All right. AKA, we thought it was worth it. We're going to get to that in just a second. Some of the entertainment that was going on was the Blues Brothers was going on. We saw part of their show. And then they had this speakeasy place called the Creepy Cay or the Creepy Tiki. I couldn't remember what it was, but I got the pamphlet here. So I'm just going to read you because it was hard to describe. And I do have the video of it in just a second. Venture in this exclusive new offering between 9:30 and 1:30 to experience a tropical hideaway where the undead have come to play. Guests of all ages are welcome. And it was in New York area of Universal Studios. So this was, I want to say, a little HHN mixed in with a little tropical hideaway. Yeah, Nick likes your Back to the Future shirt. Maybe we can talk about the escape room maybe at the end of this before I forget, Maddie. People might want to hear that too. I'm way behind in the chat. Let me try to catch up here. So the Creepy Tiki, you went into Universal Studios, go by Rip Ride Rocket, go back to the New York Public Library, and you kind of take a left, and it's back in there under that awning, under that marquee. I didn't really know what to expect. I knew there were a couple alcoholic drinks in there, but there are actually some people walking around as zombies in there. And then they actually had dance numbers every so often. So I thought that was pretty cool. So let's maybe I can play this audio. Hopefully you can hear it. So pretty cool, I thought. I'd never seen anything quite like that. The way I kind of shot it there at the wide angle, it wasn't a very big sound stage back there, but we actually went in there both nights and kind of enjoyed it. It was some fake tropical plants and had that tropical feel to it with a bunch of zombies in Hawaiian shirts that danced. So, and they did come up to you and interact when they weren't dancing. I think the song, they may have danced, I don't know, once every half an hour on the hour, but it was cool interaction, very much like HHN in the Scare Zone almost.
Yeah.
What did you think about the Creepy Cay?
I mean, personally, if you don't drink alcohol, I wouldn't go in there. But it was cool. I mean, the scare actors, they were cool.
Yes, they were pretty good. It's a good little holdover until HHN coming up here at Labor Day. That was the entertainment. Overall, I had a good time. It was kind of an option for us because we booked late, and I know at Universal in the summer, if you don't get the express pass, you're going to wait in some long lines. So we took it as the way we took my son and some of his friends, plus myself and Madison, and Chris had to work. But anyway, it was a good way to get kind of an express pass at night with the unlimited food. And if you have 4 teenagers in tow, that's not a bad deal, I'll say. Or I didn't think it was a bad deal. Madison, what did you think from a value perspective?
I think it was worth it.
You think it was worth it? Would you go and do the Orlando Informer event again?
I would.
You would. I would too. So I want to say strengths. I like the Creepy Cay. The food selection was pretty good. The check-in was seamless, so I appreciate that because it was pretty crowded both times we checked in. We did not get the virtual queue for the pterodon flyers, the little kid ride, the pterodactyl things in the chairs in Universal Islands of Adventure. Typically as an adult, you can't ride that unless you have a smaller child with you. But during Orlando Informer, you can sign up for the virtual queue, which we did not get. So we didn't get to ride that ride. Another unique thing is they actually have a connection, a walk. You can walk between the parks after 9 or 9:30. So we did that a couple of times. That's something you can't do normally. It's kind of cool, walking from one park to another. Kind of going back where the sound stages are for HHN, but it gave you a different option. Although we did take the Hogwarts Express too. Easy for me to say. I'm ready for the weekend, Maddie.
It might be real now.
No, sorry, it's Madison's Be Real time. I'm cutting into her Be Real time, so I don't know if you have teenagers, you might know what that is. But let's see, Orlando Informer. Like to check in. Ticket price, thought it was worth it. Would do it again. Selfishly, I'd love to get in the parks earlier. One day they did let us in like at 4:36, by the way. So pro tip, we checked in and I walked around to the front gate and they actually let us in the front gate at 4:36. So normally the park, sometimes you can get in early for these events. So I did get in 20 minutes or so early, we did. So that's a pro tip for you. The first night, Hagrid's line closed at 11:15 or 11:20. And I think that and the Velocicoaster, it said in the pamphlet, wasn't supposed to close till midnight. So I get it, they have to clear the line out by 1:30, but I would have liked to see Hagrid's, which is their most popular ride at IOA, kind of stay open till midnight. And I think that would still get everybody out at 1:30. Was it a busier Saturday? I would say a pretty damn busy, Tom. Yeah, it was pretty busy. I will say we had a little rain. So the second night, we didn't go in at 4:30. The second night, we actually went in at 6. We had to wait out some rain. We stayed at Cabana Bay and just walked over. So we waited out the rain a little bit and went in at 6 the second night. But it was, I will say, they should advertise as no crowds, especially Universal Studios side, because I'm literally telling you, when they went from like 7:30 to 8:30, or really to 8:10, it cleared out instantaneously. The Mummy went from like an hour to 10 minutes and then a walk on. Several other rides were the same. And I don't remember, literally we jumped in a line and ran to get on the next ride. Kong was like that. The Mummy was like that, ran a couple times. Spider-Man, Doctor Doom. I mean, what else did we ride, Manny? We rode about everything.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't ride anything like Spruce Land.
Transformers was a walk-on. Harry Potter, Green Guts. I think we had to wait. No. We did go during the day. That's the one we did get on kind of it's 45 minutes or so before 8 o'clock. So Maddie took a wand back there and tried some of the spells. Yes, Forbidden Journey was a walk-on. So I don't do well in Forbidden Journey with the motion, but I did ride with Maddie. Speaking of that, we did see the whole light show on the castle back there. That was going during the event. The what do they call that, Maddie? Yeah, the Hogwarts Castle show. It was going on at IOA during the event too. So that went on multiple times. The Frog Choir was going on during the event. Tom's asking, that's a great question. Would you go both days or just one? So we missed about 4 things. I did not get my Finnegan's bread pudding, which I guess is the one thing I forgot to talk about. So we went back for that in day 2. Didn't meet Spider-Man the first day, so we went back for that. And there were a couple other things we didn't do. Honestly, it's not that much expensive to go 2 days versus the 1 day. It's not like 1 day was 200 and 1 day was 400. I want to say it was, I don't have the exact cost, other than I know it was 400 for both. I want to say it was like 275 to 400 for 1 day versus 2 days. So, and since it's a pretty good drive from Orlando to Orlando, we kind of replaced the 2 nights versus 4 days down there, because to me that's kind of what it replaced. It's 2 nights with low crowds versus 4 days with no express. It's the kind of way I look at it. So yes, if you're going to be down there and doing a split trip between Universal Disney, I might just do 1 night. I don't think you need to do both nights, but if that's your Universal for the trip, I would go both nights and just soak it in. So I did not cover this. This is the, forgot to play this video. This is the bread pudding in Finnegan's, and Finnegan's is one of my favorite places there. I would say it wasn't as good as it could have been. It wasn't super fresh. It was kind of served buffet style. You can kind of see the guy behind me there. It just wasn't hot, for lack of a better term. The icing / frosting on top was fine. And yes, I'd somehow managed to force it down. But I had high hopes for the bread pudding, and I guess I'll have to order it single serving when I'm in Finnegan's again. And that was the other thing. Finnegan's, there's nobody in the restaurant. Like nobody at the bar in Finnegan's, which is a rare sight. What else, Madison? What should they do if they're enjoying the content, enjoying the live stream today?
They should hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.
That's right. We have some great stuff coming up. We have some going back down to Valdosta in July for some special events. I'll have a video out for our local park, Six Flags, which is turning 56 in a week. I'll have a video out for that. We got plenty of Disney content from our April trip. You can check out Tron, POV. You could check out the Festival Fantasy Parade, and I also did a train video for the Disney World Railroad. And this morning, if you weren't on the stream earlier, we posted our Disney Springs balloon trip. Madison was scared, but I made her go up in the Disney Springs balloon. 400 foot. It was kind of fun, so check out that video. Yes, I heard all the teenagers had fun, and they got their money's worth. And we were in the park until 1 or 1:30 both nights. And buses were running. I didn't mention that. Buses were running at the end of the nights. The boats were running till 2:30. So transportation was open like normal. You didn't have to walk back just because it was an after hours event. There's something else I was going to mention. Oh, while we're on the subject of Universal, we did do the Universal escape room. So we won't ruin it for everybody. We did the Back to the Future escape room. So in City Walk, second floor up by Pat O'Brien's, there's newer escape rooms. I think they just opened in April, I want to say. One for Back to the Future and one for Jurassic Park. So we went up and did those. I don't have any AV for those, but those were, I enjoyed. I'd never been in an escape room, but I enjoyed it. Maddie, what do you want to say high level about the Back to the Future?
I thought it was really easy. Like, I've done a few other escape rooms, and I thought this one was really easy. We made it to the last. There's like different stages, and I think there were 16. And we made it to 15. And the only bad thing about only having 2 people do it is they stuck us with 2 other people, which the other people were very nice.
Keep going. Say hi to the surf pump, John.
I don't know. It was just make sure you know how to read a clock. That would be my advice for that escape room.
Pro secret tip. Okay. I enjoyed it. If you're a Back to the Future fan, Nick and others, definitely. I can't speak for Jurassic Park, but so many cool things to look at in the rooms. I'll just say that. So it wasn't cheap. It was $45 a person, $55 a person for that escape room. It's about an hour and a half thing to go through. They do have a bar there. It's super well decorated. There's some costumes from Back to the Future, Nick, and some other things to look at while you're waiting. So, and a full bar for alcohol, non-alcoholic drinks. That was cool, something different in Universal, something new. So, I'm not sure the price, $55, if I'd pay that much again, but if you're a fan of either movie, you may want to do that once. The story was interesting, Nick. I don't want to say too much about it. It tied into the movie, and I think the way they led you through the story was pretty well done. The variety of what's inside is pretty well done and very connected to the movie. So, see, am I catching up on chat? And I'm going backwards through chat. All right. That is it for the Orlando Informer. I would do it again. That's my takeaway. You definitely have to plan to maximize your time there. Free food does not come out till later. So if you're eat a 5 o'clock dinner person or 6 o'clock Eastern, probably going to have to put your $15 food card to good use there. But I was pleasantly surprised that when they said low crowds, it was low crowds in both parks, very low crowds. So that's awesome. I'd almost kind of like to see it go later, but in these times, I guess 1:30 is pretty good to hope for. They also had booths set up too. What were you going to say, Maddie?
I wish the rides were open like until 1 and not shutting 12, 11:30. That was my only thing that I thought was.
So you'd like to see the rides open a little bit later?
Yeah.
They had the booths open all during Orlando Informer. They had these buttons to give away for free. If you were celebrating something, they'd write on there. And then they just had the general meetup buttons. So, of course, they had booths open to sell you the tickets to the next Orlando Informer, which is coming up in November and December. So you can check out their website. They also have a YouTube channel. They put up a lot of Orlando Universal videos. I know they work with other parks and not just Universal Studios. That's just the one that I'm most familiar with. Yeah, overall, good time. Back-to-back nights. Yeah, you really have to be a marathoner in the parks to do back-to-back nights, which we're a late night in the park type family, so that's not new to us. But we do it back-to-back nights. Yeah, it's you know, since you can't get into 5 o'clock, you know, I'm sleeping the next between them. But and I don't think it matters pretty much. The hotels, they do come with special rates for the Orlando Informer. We stayed at Cabana Bay, and it's pretty reasonable. I believe it was less than $200 both nights, and probably closer to I think the average is about $178 a person per night in Cabana Bay. And if you book early enough with Orlando Informer, you can get a little bit better rates than that at multiple rooms there. At all different levels of the Universal properties. And that's the other thing. If you're interested in staying at Universal, check out our videos. We've stayed at videos on Hard Rock, complete reviews, stayed in the room reviews, not just walk around the foyers. We've been in the rooms, give you complete tours of Hard Rock, of Royal Pacific. What's the third one? Portofino Bay and Cabana Bay. So we have those cover reviews. We will get to Sapphire Falls, Aventura, and the Dockside Surfside. But check out those videos if you've never stayed at Universal, and we'll give you a pretty good overview of what it's like to stay at those hotels. We love all those hotels, especially the higher tier ones, because we really take advantage of the Express Pass. What else can we say about Universal that we haven't?
Said everything.
We didn't see Doc Brown in the park this time. And then Madison has done several cosplays you can check out on the channel. She did go full Harry Potter a few years ago with the full wool vest, glasses, wardrobe on a 90-degree day. I don't know how you did it, but that was pretty cool. And then you did a full Vector, which is one of the villains from the Despicable Me Minion movies. And so you got to interact with the Vector during one of the Minions parades. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
How would you compare Universal to Disney? Because that's always a debate.
I don't know.
Do you feel anything different going to Universal versus Disney?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
You can't answer? You like them both?
Yeah.
All right. I know how to put my teenager on the spot. If we do both parks, I know a lot of people do one or the other, or a lot of people do Disney and not Universal, but we've been doing both parks probably for the last 10 years as the kids got older. Universal tends to be, not exclusively, but tends to be more geared towards teenagers. And so I think anyway, in my humble opinion, some may not agree, but that's cool. And we'll continue to do both parks. Yeah, I know. That is a safe answer, Nick. I'm checking it out. One of each. We'll do them both. Yes. That is pretty much it for Adventures by D. Please give us a thumbs up and leave a comment if you enjoyed the stream. Team Replay, thank you. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Go ahead and leave a comment. If you enjoy Universal, what's your favorite part of Universal? Yeah, we love Royal Pacific, Amy. I think that's a very good hotel and very reasonably priced. And I'll say the Universal hotels, depending on when you book, a lot of them look like a bargain compared to some of the Disney hotels. Like some of them, like even the pop resorts over at Disney, depending on the time of the year and the deal, can be really expensive. So thank you, Nick. I am too. Yeah, and so we did get out a couple of videos this week. We got out the Swamp Thing, it's cool inverted roller coaster, family coaster at Wild Adventures down at Valdosta, and then put out the Disney Springs balloon video this morning. So more content to come as we get a chance to put it out. I appreciate everybody starting the weekend with Adventures by D. Thank you all. I know many of you support the channel and continue to support the channel. If you have questions on Orlando Informer, you can ping me on Instagram or on the channel in a comment. We'll respond. I hope you enjoyed your time here. Leave a comment, like, consider subscribing if you're new, and have a great weekend, everybody. Middle of June. Hopefully you have a good summer and weather's good where you are, and get out and enjoy it, and party on. It's the weekend. Permission to start the weekend. And until next time, Maddie, what do you want to say?
May the
Adventures be with you. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and
Ringing a bell.
so you'll be notified of our next upload. And as always, may the adventures be with you.